Did you know that much of the Shayari and the Ghazal culture in India was born out of a dialogue between Persian and the Indian traditions? When Persian poetry met Indian rag during the Mughal era, it gave us new forms like Ghazals, Qawwalis, the rhythm of Urdu verses, and the melodic improvisations of the Hindustani music created an art that was equally poetic and musical. On the other side, the Carnatic music in the south took a different journey. While Hindustani absorbed Persian and the Mughal influences, Carnatic music remained deeply devotional, rooted in temple traditions and compositions of saints like Tyagaraj. It is fast, intricate, mathematical, and spiritual all at once. A Carnatic concert can feel like both a prayer and a puzzle with its dazzling rhythmic cycles and the improvisations. And speaking of blending traditions, I have to share something very personal. One of my favorite artists is Sushila Raman. She's born in London to Tamil parents. She took the Carnatic roots and fused them with the global sound, blues, rock, even African rhythms. So when I listen to her music, it feels like the perfect example of how Indian classical tradition can travel across borders and still remain deeply Indian. I'm not just a listener, I'm a true fan of Sushila Raman because through her I can feel both the ancient spirit of the Carnatic music and the modern pulse of the world stage. Another artist who has mesmerized me endlessly is Anushka Shankar. Carrying forward the star legacy of her father, Pandit Ravi Shankar ji, she has carved a space uniquely of her own. Her music blends the Hindustani classical with the flamenco, electronica, and the world sounds, yet it never loses its essence, never loses its soul. When I listen to her, it feels as if the emotions themselves are taking life forms, living forms, joy, sorrow, longing, ecstasy, all dancing around me in visible shapes. I can listen to her for hours and hours, forgetting time, because every note she plays is not just sound, it's a story, a heartbeat, a world unfolding. So, we are also going to explore these many forms, from the grandeur of Dhrupad to the lyricism of Thumri, from semi classical Ghazals to Sufi Qawwalis. Each form carries a unique flavor. Yet together they remind us that across the subcontinent, music has always been our shared language.
Namaste, Adab. Salam to everyone. This is Anwar Jamal Faiz joining you in your journey into Indian classical music. So far, we've understood the soul of Indian classical music, the magic of ragas and the rhythm of talas. Now let's travel across this subcontinent and explore the many forms and styles that give Indian classical music its incredible diversity. In North India, or the Hindustani tradition, 4 forms are prominent. Dhrupad, the oldest living form, majestic, meditative, and deeply spiritual. Sung in a powerful voice and accompanied by the pakhawaj, it carries the weight of centuries within it. Khayal, literally meaning imagination. It is more free and lighter than Dhrupad, allowing artists to explore ragas with creativity and emotion. Today, it is the most popular form of Hindustani vocal music. Thumri, romantic, lyrical, and often playful, blending music with poetry of love, longing, and devotion. Tappa, fast, energetic, full of quick twists and turns. Originating from the folk songs of camel riders in Punjab, it is known for its speed and complex patterns. In the south, Carnatic music has its own rich forms. Kriti, the crowning jewel, a devotional song structure perfected by saint composers like Tyagaraja. It weaves together raga, tala, and devotion into one. Varnam, often the opening piece of a concert, it is both a warm-up and a test of skill. It introduces the raga in depth, Ragam-Tanam-Pallavi, the ultimate stage for improvisation. Here, the musician freely explores the raga, weaves rhythmic improvisations, and then presents a lyrical composition. This is where artistry and discipline meet. Beyond the purely classical lies a rich semi-classical world. Bhajan, devotional songs, simple yet profound, sung in praise of deities. Ghazals, poetry set to music, expressing love, separation and philosophy. They came to India with Persian influence and became an art form in themselves. Qawwalis, rooted in Sufi traditions, performed in dargahs, where the energy in the music builds until the entire audience feels uplifted. Kirtan, communal singing, often in a call and response style, creating a spiritual connection between the singer and the listener. And then there are forms where the classical meets the folk. The mystical Baul singers of Bengal, with an ektara in hand, embody both simplicity and depth. Bhakti poets like Kabir, Mira and Surdas transformed devotion into music that still resonates today. The Sufi traditions of Punjab and Sindh gave us songs of love that blur the line between the human and the divine. These forms remind us that classical music was never separate from the people. It was born from life, devotion, and the very soil itself. The most beautiful thing is that these forms are not bound by today's borders. The ragas of Varanasi, the Qawwalis of Lahore, the Bauls of Bengal, the Thumris of Lucknow, the Kritis of Tamil Nadu all originate from the same cultural roots. This is the idea of Akhand Bharat, not political but cultural. Music, poetry and art have always united us beyond boundaries. Long before lines were drawn on maps, a raga sung in Delhi could touch a heart in Dhaka, and a Qawwali from Ajmer could inspire a mystic in Multan. So when we talk about Indian classical music, we don't just mean one style, we mean a vast, vibrant ocean of forms. From the grandeur of Dhrupad to the simplicity of Bhajan, from Carnatic Kritis to Sufi Qawwalis. Together, they form a shared heritage that transcends boundaries and time. In our next chapter, we will celebrate the giants who advanced this music, the great maestros whose voices and instruments continue to echo through history.